Hey everybody, it's Space Coast. I'm down here across from Patrick, taking a look at the beach. Won't be any fishing done today. The beach is too full of debris. Water is flat all the way out 75 to 100 yards. I'm pretty sure there's fish out there, but you'd have to chunk it a couple hundred yards to get out there and fight the debris. The beach is full of twisted trees and branches and seagrass. Fishing might be a little difficult for the next 2 or 3 weeks down here on the Space Coast. So I may not be putting any videos out because they're going to need to get the beach cleaned up and they're going to need to get the surf cleared out. Wave action is going to have to do its job. You can look down the beach, a bunch of people are down here on Saturday surveying the damage. The only reason there's so many people here, I think, is because it's one of the few accesses you can actually get onto the beach. Most of the area has been shut down. All the crossovers are washed out, and this is one of just a handful of places you can actually get to the beach. Right behind me here is the Tides Club across from Patrick. All of this got washed out. A lot of it did, and apparently the water breached right over here in the corner behind me. I'll show you. The water breached over the edge of the sidewalk there and made its way into the parking lot. But it held. And take a look at all that concrete and stuff. Every bit of that used to be under sand, and now it's all exposed. That's how they washed out about 4 to 6 feet of sand in this area. It's going to take them a little while to get this fixed. It's another view down the beach. Not as many people down that way, but you can see all the tree branches and the tree trunks everywhere. And then looking over here to the back, I mean, you can see all the washout. Looks like they lost about 10 to 15 feet of sea grapes, and then the sand got washed out about 4 to 6 feet in the bank. So yeah, it's pretty devastating for the beach, and it's going to be a little hard on fishing for a while. I'm up here at Cocoa Beach now, just south of Ron John, at Coconuts Restaurant at that access. Beach much cleaner here. Still some debris in the water that's washing around, but not as bad as south. South is terrible. That won't be fishable for at least a week or two. You could probably do some fishing here. However, remember, you got to contend with a lot of people coming to the beach, a lot of swimmers, tourists, things of that nature. But a little better the farther you go north. I came down to the jetty park thinking I might be able to get wet a line down there, but the jetty park's closed too. So the Mardi Gras has been in since about 7:30. So I just thought I'd get a few pictures of that. Be loading up and headed out again. They're washing her off after being at sea. I think they were behind the hurricane, so they didn't really get roughed up much. Just filming some of the debris along the shore here. There's a lot of sea fan clams. Here's a couple more here, but they're everywhere. And these are normally very deep in the sand. And every one of these clams that I'm filming here all have the clams still inside, so they just freshly died when they got washed out. But they're everywhere along the beach here, which tells me there was a lot of sand moved out in the water. There's just literally hundreds of these things everywhere washed out. So that tells you how much sand got moved back and forth. Here's one of the walkthroughs there here at Patrick. Got washed out at the end down here. Most of this area is closed. I'm surprised the SPs haven't chased us off yet, but there's people coming to the beach. But you can see how much sand was washed away and how much roots and foliage was washed away at the same time. Yeah, there, you can see the debris down the beach. Pretty devastated here across from Patrick when it comes to fishing. I'm walking out to one of my favorite places to fish down here south of Cocoa. It's called Second Light Beach. And wow, you can tell that used to be the stairs. Now it's buried. You can see where the edge of the grass was right here. And now all this grass got washed out, and oh boy, look at the debris. This is about a couple miles north of where I just was. It is just whacked. Basically all the sea grapes and everything that got washed out all up and down the beach, it's all on the beach now. Surf is just full of trees and twisted roots and everything else. It's going to be like this for a while. All the beaches are covered with this. Most of the accesses are closed right now because of this. You can see there's just more beach destruction. It got wiped out. All the sand they put in last year, all gone. All of it's washed out in the surf. When you look at the water line, it's about 1.5 feet deep out like almost 75 to 100 yards. So the fish are going to be way out past that. I mean, we got full-blown palm trees here. Everything in the world. This is what's out in the water too. All this twist stuff. All this right here is out in the surf. Twisted roots and seagrass and palm trees and everything else. There's a piece of netting out there. Big piece of fish netting. But yeah, here's somebody's tire swing. It washed in. But yeah, this is the whole beach. Looks like this. It's going to be a while before they can get it cleaned up. I moved up the beach a little ways. Now we're all the way up to Cocoa Beach. Came north about 10-12 miles from where I was before. Way less debris on the beach. There is still debris, and there's still a lot of debris in the surf. The water looks a lot better here than it did south. Just a lot less going on. There might actually be some decent fishing in here if you can get your line out. I'm over here near Coconuts on Cocoa Beach, so everybody will probably know where that is. Much better here. Not like you could surf here. This is where all the people come to the beach to swim and hang out. So fishing here not so easy because of all the tourism, but you could probably fish here. The water is very dirty still though, a couple days after Hurricane Nicole.